Welcome to Season 2 of Two Girls Shooting the Shit with Em and Mo. This year, we're working on that energy. Join us as we talk midlife discoveries, spiritual awakenings, pursuing passions, reconnecting with the goddess within, and a whole bunch of other shit. Make sure to follow our socials and join us on Instagram Live Tuesday nights, YouTube Live Thursday nights. If you're looking for bonus content, episode archives, or just another way to connect with us, check us out on Patreon. Thanks for all the love and support. Now let's get to it.
Everybody farts. Literally, if you're not farting, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah. Gas, right? I mean, we've got to relieve that gas.
Oh
Hey,
my
Mo.
God. Hey, BB.
Excuse
Hey,
me?
girl.
Hey,
Hey, baby. It's going.
I feel like
Damn.
that's the feeling of the week.
Right? It's
Just
like I'm
inhale, exhale.
with the flow. Exactly. I take it minute by minute, minute by minute. That's all I can do. I mean, overall, good. I can't complain, you know. Blessed to be on this spinning shithole of assholes, you know. Yeah. Thank God for Third
Spinning
Rock.
shithole.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch that show, Third Rock?
It was one of those background shows. I had quite a, like, Mad About You was one of them. It was kind of like I didn't really follow it, but it was just company, you know.
Wasn't Joseph Gordon-Levitt on it?
Oh yeah, he was the star.
Yeah,
And then the
okay,
other
I'm
guy,
about to say,
the guy who
yeah.
played Harry in the Hendersons was I forgot something like that. I think was on there.
The dad or whoever the older.
Yeah,
He used to
that
walk
dude.
his dogs at UCLA. Like I think his wife is a
Aw.
professor or something. So he used to walk around. He was the preacher in Footloose, the father,
Oh, okay.
wasn't it?
Oh,
Do you remember?
I gotta go watch
I gotta
that.
watch that.
I just know
yeah.
everybody cut. Okay, I gotta check it out.
Everybody cut, everybody cut.
Oh, on your Sunday shoe. I only know the song. I probably, it was probably a background show. Most things are background, so I can't really tell you.
Well, we were young when that came out, anyways.
But I want to rewatch all the young movies that I
Mm.
watched as a kid because it's going to be a completely different. And as much as I don't want to, I feel like I gotta watch Lean on Me. I gotta watch it. I don't want to, but you know, as an adult, like to look
Yeah.
at it. So I want to watch a lot of things. Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, Jason's Lyric. Because you know what, back in as a kid, I just wanted to see the sex scenes. You know, that's all I was worried about with Jason's Lyric.
You were a wild child. You were a wild child.
Wild child.
But yeah, watch it again. Yeah, I gotta watch all that again. All of those movies.
We should
Ooh.
do that and like talk about it on podcasts. That'd be fun.
That sounds good. Or like quick reviews on YouTube. Make videos for that. Yeah,
exactly. Our Patreon. Don't forget about the Patreon.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think that would be good. Stuff from our youth. Listen to the song again. Watch the movie again. Let's see this episode of the show.
Poetic Justice. Can we start with
Poetic? I was thinking about Poetic Justice.
Yeah, can we start with that
Rihanna
one?
in her braids. Oh, okay. Yeah, you want to do that? We'll do that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna watch at some point, and then you can watch at some point, and then we
could do a movie a week.
And yeah, let's do a movie.
Shoot the shit on the movie. I like that.
I like it.
That.
Yeah.
Because I'm done with Netflix. Netflix is nothing for me.
All right. Yeah, look at us. Yay.
Miss you. I wish you were still here.
Gosh, I miss you. It was just so nice. Oh, so for
you good hugs. Oh,
those of you who don't know, we had a Two Girls Shooting the Shit reunion in the Bay Area last weekend, and it was great. We had some fans come out. Our friends came out and represented.
Yeah.
Tasted some good wine, some Black-owned wine, some
vegan soul food.
Vegan soul food from Solely Vegan. Delish.
Ooh,
that was good. And I've been there before, and that was I regretted I couldn't take that on the flight because I would have.
That was good.
It was so good.
And then those what was it? These ain't gator bites. I didn't know what they were, and I forgot about them, but they were like I love mushrooms.
Oh yeah.
So it was a very meaty mushroom. So good. So good.
We have a place here in Philly called Nourish Cafe, and they have the bomb mushroom, fried enoki mushroom. I don't know what they put in those seasonings, but
and so the okra, fried okra. I will eat fried okra from anywhere. Anywhere.
Churches.
That's my favorite. Okay.
I used to hate churches, but now I like it. Like not churches, but I like the fried okra that we had. So it just depends on how. I don't like it mushy. Like it had a texture to it.
Yeah, so crisp. Yeah, and it's still like okra. Crisp. I don't like it when it's. My dad liked to just boil them, and they're just slimy and.
Yeah, I hate that. Yeah,
and he just eats it. Nah, but these like nice. They're dry, and it's like you taste the vegetable. It's not slime in your mouth. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. You get it. That's exactly what I was trying to say.
But the flavor of okra is delicious. Slimy or not, I love the way it tastes.
Oh yeah, I put it in. I use it as a thickener too in gumbo.
Ooh, and that slime. It brings the slime.
And the slime, but it's not slimy. Like that's the cool thing. You cook it for so long, and it just
it becomes part of this. Yeah,
it disappears.
Ooh, sounds good.
Yeah, I know. I may need to make some before it gets cold for good. I mean, before it gets warm for good. Well, on a nice rainy day, so we still got the.
Like soup weather.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that chili gumbo.
Yeah, we still got some chili and gumbo days coming up.
Yeah.
At least over here we do.
Well, I don't know about over here. The sun is in my face as the sun is beating in on me.
Yeah, but I do. That was a good time just to enjoy the sunshine with y'all and to get my Emily hugs and look you in the eyes.
I love a good hug. Y'all, whenever we toast, Mo's like all about the eye contact. Like you have to look her dead in her soul through her eyes when you toast before you drink. Otherwise, she'll make you do it again.
Right?
I forgot about that.
It's become so tight. Like it's just like neuroses at this point. And it's sad because all the kids, even like the little kids, like my friends' kids and stuff, they'll be like
up in your face.
And then they'll text me and be like, oh, my kid was trying to make eye contact and toasted me. I'm like, oh, I created a monster. And then when people forget, I'm like, why are you forgetting? Why are you forgetting to make eye contact?
Oh my gosh. That was fun. I had fun.
It was fun.
And I was sober the whole time.
I'm glad you were actually.
Yeah.
At first I was like, oh, but then I was like, yeah, this is great. I can relax. So
helping the babies cross the street. We crossing the street. Come on, folks. Come on.
Yeah. I had a chaperone for the day.
I was in mommy mode.
Don't forget your bag. Don't forget.
Yeah. All that. I don't mind. It's my natural state these days.
Hey, I'll take it. I think most of my friends are that because I'm in baby mode. So we
got to take care of you. We got to watch out for Mo. Where the children's at? 1, 2, 3, Mo. Okay, cool. And it's sure everybody's all right.
Because I get along with a lot of type A people and sometimes like people don't even like them. And they're like, how do you get along with these type A people? And it's like, it balances out, you know, like they like to help people. I like to be helped.
I like to be helped.
They double check stuff, you know, they're very good at, you know, making you feel safe and secure.
That's that root chakra.
Yep.
That root.
Yeah, rooty root.
So what are we talking about today?
Well, according to you, shit. So
literal and metaphorical. Well, we were having a conversation.
Literally shooting the shit today.
We were talking earlier today about just health things, you know, just day-to-day friend talk, you know.
Yeah.
And it got me thinking about what it is we're supposed to be doing. I mean, this podcast is about us and our journey through middle life, in quotes or whatever. And there's a lot of stuff physically, you know, preventative medicine, health, that kind of thing that we need to be aware of. And I wanted to make sure, because you were tossing out some numbers like every 5 years, every 3 years. And I was like, that's not what I thought. So I thought maybe it would be good to consult maybe some trusted sources for how often we're supposed to get.
You can Google pap smear is every 5 years. So
dang, or 3 years if you want. If you have not if you want, but if you've had you know, a serious.
Yeah, the default is 5 years. And that's by the ACS, American Cervical Cancer Screening Guideline.
Yeah. And you can also, it's also acceptable to have it done alone every 3 years. But is that okay? So this is the first part. I guess we're talking about your cootie health. So there's the pap smear, but pap smears, and sometimes people get these confused.
What's
like
your
regular pelvic exam is not the same as a pap
smear.
Where
they put the Q-tip in and stuff, or it's not even a pap smear anymore. They don't even.
It looks like a mascara wand, doesn't it?
I don't even think they do. They changed it. It's a different procedure than what it was years ago. It's well,
they still putting that.
Yeah, they still gotta
I hate that.
In you and get a specimen.
And I'm like, you really cranking? Can you stop?
Yeah, I gotta crank that soldier boy.
But It's like, and you know what's weird too is I've been to gynos, OBGYNs that have the disposable plastic ones. And then I always get weirded out when they bust out a metal one. I'm like, where that thing been? I know you were using it. Has it been sanitized? Where, like, can you pull it out of a clean container? Like, I need to know what the thing is with that. And I feel like those hurt more, but that's just me. Possibly.
Man. Yeah, these are like default suggestions. And then, of course, if people have any kind of issues or anything like that, then they need to
consult your doctor.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at it's the cedarsinai.org prevention guidelines for women 40 to 49. So that's what I'm looking at. And I'm a very visual, organized type person. I need to see things laid out for me in a chart or a graph. And so it's really easy to read. They talk about what the screening is, who needs to get
screening
the screening, and how often.
every year. Right. On
Pancakes. I think I'm overdue for that. I didn't know it was every year. I hate making pancakes.
You didn't believe it though.
Them flapjacks. That's a really the procedure for that. Okay, wait, let's finish this up. Okay, so pap smear every 5 years. You can still see your OBGYN as often as you need to, or annually, right?
Or because for me, like they kept saying every 5 years, I wasn't just pulling that out of my ass. And I was like, excuse you, like I don't want to take it every 5 years.
A lot can happen in 5 years.
A lot, as being a Black woman too, ain't nobody looking inside of this thing, it ain't getting no use. Like, I don't know what's going on. So I'm like, they cracked up. That's exactly what I told them. I'm like, no,
I need you to go in there every year and clear the cobwebs, okay?
The first time somebody done sink this in some time, man. Shoot. And they were like, well, you don't need one every 5 years. I said, well, I can get one and I'm gonna get one. And so I made them do it.
Like, you gotta come up in this cooch. Somebody
gotta. Shit. God dang.
In there nice and deep, like, okay, so you can go every year. Pap smear every 5 years, unless you may have some pay. History.
Yeah, you may have to self-pay if you don't if
your insurance
voluntarily go every year, depending on your insurance or anything like that. But that's up to you. It's always I don't know. It's up to people. We ain't no doctors or nothing to give health advice.
I know, right? We just try to figure out what we need to do.
So, exactly.
Let this be a jumping off point for you to get on your Googles and talk to your doctor. But it used to be every year.
Yeah. How did that?
Doesn't that make you wonder, like, why now 5 years? Like,
I think they said science, but it all goes back to whatever's made up. Maybe the insurance got tired of paying. Who knows? Who knows the real reason? But
anyways,
let's look it up.
That's the coochie part. What about the boobie part?
Because that's every year.
Every year we got to make
after a certain age. So after 40.
Okay. And then it's also dependent. I guess it's every year, but also obviously everything's dependent on history, family history,
exactly,
all that kind of stuff. But
we now better understand the way cervical cancer develops over time. And we know it takes many years to develop. Okay. So that's why this is according to, what is this?
It takes many years to develop.
Yeah. American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists. So, like, how do you know which many years? What if
what if it's 3 years?
What if it's
2 years and you didn't?
Yep.
Yeah.
Or what if it was already developing 2 years ago, and so it's going to be there in 3 years, but you tell me to come in 5? And
then it's too late. Early detection.
It's too late. That's exact. Early detection is the key to everything.
Everything. Dang. Are people doing preventative stuff? Like, how you can have like a is it a preventative mastectomy? I don't know what it's called. Where you have I think Christina Applegate got it done. I'm trying to think of a couple of well-known people have gotten it done. And I wonder if that's the same for a hysterectomy. I mean, I know that's a more invasive surgery, but I wonder if people can preventatively, if they have uterine cancer or cervical cancer, if they can preventatively remove those organs. I mean, I don't know if that's a thing. Just a question
how it works. I have.
I wouldn't want to do that, but I think if it's something like your mom, your grandma, your sisters, everybody got it, you probably want the option. Maybe, I don't know.
And it's almost
Scary.
like unsettling. Yeah. Because it's like, gosh, at this age, like, it's like, okay, you're near death. So we got to make sure you're not deteriorating. And,
Dang.
for the most part, if you take care of yourself, you're going to be okay, barring any kind of DNA, genetic issues.
Genetics. Yeah.
But still, a lot of stuff is genetics, and you don't know. You're just a walking the time bomb. You don't even know.
I mean, my dad has cancer. And it's one of those things where we had a great doctor, a great family doctor, and he was able to detect it early. Like something looked off about his blood count. He didn't have cancer yet, but it was a marker for.
Mm-hmm.
So they were able to monitor it. So when his whatever test did turn and show cancer, they were already, proactively handling it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So he's very fortunate in that sense. But I asked him, what does it feel like? And he's like, I didn't feel anything. He's like, so you could be walking around not feeling anything till bam, it's in your brain,
and that's the brain that kills. So it's like, do I even want to know? Because I was thinking about that. For instance,
I don't want to know.
Like with the mammograms, and then always having, to go back because they'll be like, oh, this is too dense. And then like that is nerve wracking, first of all, because it's like, what if this is like you were saying, what if this is the time that it's finally developed, over time? And so I don't know what the statistics are, but a lot of times when people find out they have some kind of terminal illness or something, then they like get sick. And it's like,
it manifests.
The mind manifests. So it's like, how can we get control of the mind to say, I'm not sick? Because it's like, I'm sitting here jumping and running and everything. And you're showing images of people, who are so like, aren't able to do stuff at a certain point. But it's like, how long does that take to develop?
Well, I think some of that is like I think you're onto like a really good point about the mind. Cause I feel like the flip side is true too, is when you're sick, you can get this fighting. Like I've seen it in my mom, like she had colorectal cancer at age 38 years old. Who's expecting to
get stage 4?
Yeah.
What does stage 4? Now, what does stage 4 mean?
I don't know, but she had to, that's the final stages of something. But she had part of her colon removed. I'm putting all her history out here, but whatever. She would tell you. So she had several surgeries. She had to advocate.
Yeah, this says when it's, you sure it was stage 4? Because that says when it spread to distant areas of the body.
Or maybe stage 3. It was advanced, very scarily advanced, because she was 38. You don't expect that. And she kept going to the doctors. Like my mom is the type that she's not going to stop about something.
Exactly.
Whereas I'm sitting here with a headache and I'm like, oh, my brain could be exploding. I don't even know. But she kept going and going and going. And
good
finally she's like,
you gotta trust your body.
I think there's something wrong, because there's a history of cancer in my family. And so finally they did find she had, advanced colorectal cancer. And they did all kinds of stuff. And it got to a point where she was like, I got to think of, like, she changed her mental and things literally turned. So I think I think manifesting is powerful. I think your mind is, and we talk about this all the time, how powerful your mind is.
It's insane. Like the way you can use your mind, like it's hard to do, but the mind makes us sick, because it's not just the mind, like it's releasing chemicals. There's all kinds of stuff going on.
And the mind controls the release of those chemicals. So I mean, it's the cortisol, the stress, all
exactly. That. Dopamine, like all that stuff. So it's just definitely complex.
It's like sawdust or something going on here.
Oh, shoot.
It's crazy. My house is crazy right now.
It's going crazy.
But so pancakes. So that's every year past the age of 40. And that's a pleasant experience. If none of you have experienced it, you don't. The one thing that bothers me the most, though, is they don't let you wear deodorant. They don't want you to wear
they
deodorant,
make you wipe it off. Yeah.
I'm like, I need my deodorant. Okay. When you hit a certain age, you start sweating more too. So it's like, you can't tell me I can't go out into the Publix. And
then also a new thing they're doing is asking you which arm you got your COVID shot in.
What?
Because apparently it shows swollen lymph nodes or something like that on some screenings.
Or like,
I don't even know. Yeah, but that's a new thing.
Things they don't tell you about that COVID shot. No,
they do, but we don't look.
We don't care. Yeah, it's in the fine print.
Yodo.
So you go in, you got to like put your arm up and rest it on something. And basically they take these plates and make pancakes out of your tigos. And if you have dense tissue, have dense tissue, it's probably harder to do. And I mean, she'd be in here trying to put the thing between the plates and flatten it out or whatever. But yeah, so it's not comfortable. And you got to hold your breath and they just keep cranking. It's what is it with the cranks? They put the speculum in for the pelvic exam, crank, 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 crank,
that.
uncomfortable. And then they put your boob between two plates, squish it down, and then crank, crank, crank some more. It's like the things women go through. Men don't have, I mean, they get a finger in the butt every so often for a prostate exam. That's it.
Well, we got a lot of plumbing and stuff. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Okay, so mammogram every year.
Ain't that some shit? I said, ain't that some shit? Oh, ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? Goddamn. Why hasn't there been much coverage over the Brittney Griner detention? For those of you who don't know, Brittney Griner is a WNBA player who's been playing for Russia for several years and was caught in February at an airport with cannabis vapes in her luggage. After that, Brittney Griner was detained, and it didn't really hit the mass media until around March. And so a lot of people wondered, why did it take so long? Yes, this person was caught with something that's considered a criminal substance that carries up to a 10-year sentence in prison. But usually when things like this happen, you see a lot of people coming forward to try to get some kind of amnesty or some kind of help for the person. And we didn't see anything like that, especially in a time where Russia's at war. Well, recently, Lisa Leslie came out and said that she was told by the Russian authorities that she shouldn't make a big fuss over the Brittney Griner situation. Why? Because making a big fuss would cause the Russians to use Brittney Griner as a pawn in the current conflict, and so could possibly make things worse. While that makes sense, is that the real cause of why we haven't really heard anything about it? What do you think?
What else do we have to worry about? Well, I mean, colorectal cancer, we talked about that. That's
45.
45 and older, every 5 years for a flexible sigmoidoscopy, or a colonoscopy every 10 years. But that's, again, if you don't have a history.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I got my first colonoscopy at 28 because it's 10
because
years
your mom,
prior to your parents' diagnosis or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then
what
I have
is
to
it
do it
like?
every 5 years. The prep is booty. Okay. The prep literally,
literally
want to talk about shooting the shit. It's, you take this prep drink. It's disgusting. And usually I can chug anything. People are like, oh, this is disgusting. This is whatever. You drink it. It made me throw up, like involuntarily. It was just so gross because you have to keep drinking X amount every hour, every 30 minutes.
Oh no. And for how long?
Oh, I don't know how you may have to find out about that. It's the day before. You start the morning of the day before. You can't eat. You just have to drink that drink. And then basically what it does is give you the worst diarrhea of your life.
Oh,
you got to be cleaned out until the point where you drink it and it's just liquid coming out of your, and then you go in, they put you in like a hazy twilight sleep. And then they put a camera up, and sometimes they have like a TV where you can see, and they'll kind of explain, here's a polyp, here's a whatever they find. And then you you can't leave until you pass gas, because I think they have to pump you full of air in order to get everything in there and see what's going on. So the first time I did it, I was in a room full of people, and it was just people just farting everywhere. It was ridiculous.
Sounds funny.
It's
a human thing.
Yeah. I mean, and the nurses are funny. They're like, oh, you farted. Yeah, you get
to. Why are people like? Is it the smell? I guess it's the bad smell of it.
There's no smell.
Are embarrassed about farting. Like,
I think there's a smell if you've got fecal matter in there.
Yeah. So what's the issue with farting? Why are people so ashamed of farting?
Why
is there shame in farting?
I fart in front of you. I fart in front of everybody.
Everybody farts. Literally, if you're not farting, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah. Gas, right? I mean, we've got to relieve that gas.
I mean, if you're farting too much, you might need to get that checked.
That might be on the list too. But yeah, colonoscopy. But you know what? Now they have the new stuff where they send you home with an envelope, and you just kind of do a smear test at home and mail it in.
Dang.
Cologuard, I think I've seen a commercial for it. So it's less invasive, especially if you don't have a history of cancer, specifically colorectal cancer. Like, you can do that, and they can just screen from what you send them to see if there's whatever in your blood, in your feces, which is gross. But it's better than having somebody poke all up in there. And in your
no
guts.
Thanks. I know for my doctors and stuff, I have to go to like a Quest Diagnostics or something like that, and they'll do any kind of testing.
All the lab work.
So I guess it's the same, probably just in that facility.
For a colonoscopy?
No, for like any kind of screenings, blood test screenings, and things like that.
Well, that's also stuff we have to do. Type 1 and type 2 diabetes screenings, especially if you're overweight.
Yeah.
I used to joke about it with some of my friends when we were a lot younger. We call them mom bodies, you know, because like you get to a certain age and things, your body shape changes.
I mean, I was born with a mom body, so.
But there's just something about like certain parts of your body get rounder and things move, boobs go lower. Things are just moving.
Shift, yeah.
But I think that's something too. I mean, I think the guidelines for what is obese and what is not blow my mind. But if you are considered obese or overweight, not just obese, but overweight, then you should be getting screened for diabetes, type 2 diabetes.
Yeah, I make sure to get tested for that always, because I don't want to mess with that at all. Like,
yeah, especially if you've got it again, especially Black women.
Yep.
That's one of the diseases that runs in the Black community, like throughout, right? Is high blood pressure. That's another one, but you get that every time you go to the doctor. They check the blood pressure.
That's a regular checkup. Yeah.
But the blood work for diabetes is important.
Yeah, and there are different kinds too.
For diabetes,
you want to check. Yeah, I know for
like
me
fasting,
because
there's like all the different.
For me, because back when I was almost 300 pounds, my blood sugar would get. Oh yeah, definitely.
Never.
Yep.
No.
What I was saying was when I was almost 300 pounds, I had to get tested, for diabetes and stuff like that. And they would also do
good.
Yeah, they were
diabetic or good.
Yeah, okay. Like they were like never diabetic or anything like that. But they would also, because of that, they had to do A1C.
Yes.
And that's where they tested like over 3 months to see how your blood work is. Right. And it's so funny because even before going vegan, like I don't know what they put in the meats, but my blood sugar was high. And it would like fluctuate. It wasn't always
it's
high,
probably all the stuff that goes with the meats. You know what I mean? They put it on a bun, they put it with
but that's what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
I'll haven't eaten all of that stuff without the meats. There's never any kind of warning or getting close to pre-diabetes or anything like that. So why is that? What's in the meats? What's in the meats?
I'm surprised. My husband's big on keto. And when he first started, we were trying to learn about it, right? Learn all the stuff about the, all that stuff. And it's amazing because we've done Whole30, basically cutting sugar. Sugar is like the enemy, right? They put sugar in everything. Anything that is processed, I wouldn't doubt it. I don't know how you would do that unless it's a processed meat of some sort, ground up and made into a croquette,
or like to make it fat, like to make it look fatter than it is.
I don't know, but they put sugar in, and like soup. There's sugar in canned soup. Anything processed, they just add sugar.
It's
to
a drug. That's the number one drug. Yep. Number one drug is sugar.
That show that I used to watch, I don't watch anymore. Explained? Is it Explained? On Netflix, they have one episode on sugar. I think everybody should watch that. It's about sugar and basically how we love sugar. Our bodies love sugar. We love the taste of sugar, even if it doesn't belong in the food. So people put sugar in. It's the drug. Okay, you like this? Okay, I'm gonna sprinkle it in this.
Yeah.
Yep. So
everything.
I don't know. But blood work. Get that diabetes checked out.
Yeah, get that checked out. I get everything. I tried to get everything checked because you never know. But I know back in the day, like when I was younger, I asked for a colonoscopy and they're like,
that's a big, they won't do it.
Yeah. They're like, no, we need some kind of evidence. And so if anything ever happens, because for me, like I have anemia, I have very low iron.
That's so something else that runs through the Black community.
Yeah. So it's like, anemia, I got to get checked, just to make sure there's no internal bleeding or anything. So I got to go shit on a stick or something like that. And it's like
shit on a stick.
And it's like, just with that kind of stuff, if they found something out, I'm gonna go cut. I probably can't sue people, but I'm gonna go cuss them out. I told y'all to check.
Cuss them out real loud. I'll cuss them out on the podcast.
I told y'all ass to check.
But they won't. And I don't know if that's an insurance thing or a cost thing, or if it's just, hey, it's pretty invasive and it's a whole involved process.
Yeah, that sounds dangerous. It sounds risky the way you described it. Like,
I mean,
keeping up with that drinking for a day and then being like,
it's terrible.
All those stuff in, your butt nerve endings and stuff.
Well, and then if they see stuff like polyps, I mean, they're going to take biopsies. So they're in there cutting too. They're doing all that.
Oh, they do that. Oh, God.
Well, while they're in there, what are they going to schedule you to come in again so we can go up in there? Like,
we already up in there.
But that's the whole point, because they'll test the polyps, they'll test any biopsy, any growths, and see if it's cancerous, So it's very important to do. That's the number one killer. All the talk we talk about breast cancer and like we have, all that kind of stuff. They're probably the number one fundraising cancer is breast cancer, but colon cancer is the number one killer.
What? So it's the most fatal? I thought that was pancreatic cancer.
No, I think it kills the most people. There was some statistic. Pull it up, girl. I see you Googling.
Okay.
It's maybe it's the least
colorectal cancer is the third leading cause of cancer-related deaths in men and women. The second most cause of cancer deaths, white men and women combined.
Okay, so something's passed it up, but get your booty checked. What's the number one? Shots. I mean, pancreatic cancer, I know is if you hear about that, that's it for you. That's Patrick
but it's not
Swayze,
always. That's
right?
why I look at Ruth Bader Ginsburg. It was
she was like supernatural.
She was super like how like that was
doing
amazing.
The push-ups. Oh, I remember. Do you remember that video of her workout routine? And she had a sweatshirt that said like Notorious, and she was doing push-ups. Oh my gosh, I can't do a push-up now if I tried, probably.
Right? Oh,
I'm sure I could, but she was doing it.
Top 5 deadliest. This is Webman D. I don't know how, take it for what you will. First is lung cancer. Damn. When did that become first? Then colorectal. Then
I don't know if I trust that, WebMD.
Yeah, I don't know if I trust that. I'm like, that doesn't sound right. Colorectal cancer can appear without warning. Dang. Is it the foods? Lung cancer, yeah. Lung cancer, the world's deadliest cancer, World Health Organization. Cancer is okay, we know that.
Lung cancer. Is that something I wonder about some of these though? Like, do we care more? And this is gonna
lung, colon, liver, and stomach.
Not do we care more, but like, is the attention given more to the ones that you not contract? It's not a virus. What is it? The ones that manifest in your body of no doing of your own. Do you know what I mean? Like if you smoked your whole life, and lung cancer is the result of that, I think people are less likely to be like, let's fight for lung cancer, whereas you just happen to have breasts.
But the thing is,
that you've done,
you could have smoked your whole life and gotten it from or gotten it from asbestos, like, or all that weird kind of stuff, like living in cities, like there are some things, but I think about
but there is
like,
a causal connection with cigarette smoke though.
I definitely would own any kind of, like, it's kind of like with COVID, it's the same thing. People are like, well, if you're at risk, high risk, that's your fault. Like, I mean, it's some, at some point
you have to take responsibility for what you're doing with your body.
Exactly.
Some things you can prevent.
You still should get medical help,
right,
so.
Right, of course we're just gonna let people die out in the street. Well, obviously I guess we are. People are dying out in the streets. Okay.
I'm like, as soon as if I ever get anything terminal, as soon as they tell me, even if it's stage 1, I'll be like, put me in the hospice, please. Hospice ASAP.
Just crank me full of morphine and let me just chill.
Beam me up.
Hospice. You said put me in hospice. Somebody take care of me. I ain't doing nothing no more.
Right? Life is hard. Adulting is hard.
Ooh, you said put me in hospice, please. Oh,
please.
Okay, so we got to get our booty checked. We got to get our blood sugar checked. Blood pressure, obviously.
But it's enough to get it checked. But you also need to, like, how often should you get a second opinion? Because, like you said, for instance, where your dad's doctor was looking at the different stuff. Like, how do you get it checked?
I don't know that kind of, I mean, I think it's up to each person how much they want to advocate for themselves, or if they
that's another thing about Black women, and they don't get the proper medical care,
or they aren't taken as seriously when they are advocating about stuff. What else is here? Ooh, I don't know anything about the hepatitises A, B, C. I know my children were vaccinated.
Those,
vaccinated for I think upon birth is your first vaccine. HIV, are people still doing that out in these streets?
Oh yeah, I get all of that. Syphilis, HIV,
that's
everything.
On here. Chlamydia, gonerrhia, all that.
Yeah, get
well,
tested.
I mean, that's
because it's
part
like,
of
how
a
you gonna be
pelvic
out in
exam,
these
right?
streets not knowing, like you need to know.
I remember like being single and just having that be like
Routine.
my measure of whether you're worthy. Like if I ask and bring it up, hey, you've got to do this, take this test. And if you looked at me any kind of funky, I'd be like, no, if you're not about it too, then I don't know
if you're
about
not
your
about it
practices.
And my thing is, everybody's been bragging about the COVID test. Oh, people putting their picture of the COVID test on the apps. Yeah, that's
those
cute,
rapid
boo-boo.
tests or what? Or
that's
what
cute.
do you mean? The vaccine stuff?
The vaccine, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you all, bragging that you don't have COVID and stuff. So let's see how it is with the stuff that really counts. Like
let's talk about these warts you got down.
If you're careless about that, like there's some things you can't see, smell, or taste. And so we need to find out these things. We need to find out.
Yeah. But I think that should be I mean, we've been dealing with this epidemic, this AIDS, HIV epidemic for decades. It should not be taboo. It should not be awkward. Get your test, know your status, whatever. And be open about it. Be honest about
honest. Exactly. I
Yes.
used to be bad. I don't know if you remember back in the day, I wouldn't even be having sex and would be like, oh God, I gotta go. I mean, I still do. I mean, honestly, I still do that.
You're like, he kissed me too hard.
Right?
I gotta go get tested.
I gotta get checked.
It was scary. It was scary. It was really scary. I mean,
it's like you're trusting people with your life, basically.
Life. I mean,
when you think about it.
In this day and age, I feel like that's what relationships are, right? Like you're trusting, especially in COVID times, in HIV times, all this stuff. Like I'm trusting you with my life. Like this is not like chlamydia and you can go get whatever medication they give you for that. This is like I could die. So
and it's a hard thing
be honest, people.
Because like we were talking about, when you're just getting to know people, you're really taking a gamble to trust them. So it's like, how long do you wait? Whereas some people like
wait for what?
Before you're having sex.
Okay.
Because otherwise what risk is there?
What is the standard? How long do people wait?
It just depends. I mean, you mentioned before that y'all didn't really wait. And so it's just like, I've met,
dang,
I've met,
hey
people, babe. I was dating a guy, I remember back in the day, and he was ready to go. And I'm like, yo, we only been on a few dates. I'm not ready to go. I liked him a lot, but I wanted to get to know him.
Yeah.
And, and know that he was interested in dating and like getting to know me. It wasn't going to be a pump and dump. And then also,
that sounds so nasty.
I mean, and it's dehumanizing as well.
Pumps and a pump.
Right. So,
but it's also the thing about that's what you were looking for. At the time my husband and I met each other, we were not looking. We were when I was in law school, stressed out.
Yeah, just looking for release.
And there was a lot of that. There was a lot of law school. I mean, that's a thing. Like ask anybody who's been through law school, there's law school. Like people are just.
Oh no, I was saying you were always looking. So that was, even if it might not have been the primary intent, like it was something that you knew you wanted and, whatever.
Oh yeah.
But I was saying with this guy, it turns out that's how he bonded with people. So,
a lot of men.
He later, like right after me, he was in a relationship with someone. So
right away, like
yeah.
So
it's just like, it's interesting because I was unwilling to take that risk because I saw it as I was seeing it as like, oh my gosh, this is like giving part of my body to someone. I want to make sure I know. And I feel like that's important. Like, I feel like you should know people. And I just can't, I can't, it's not in me. I can't do that. Just like,
well, that's a bonding thing for you too, except in a different way, right? Like that's how you kind of confirm emotions and things that are going on, whereas somebody, that's how they try to initiate emotions, maybe.
Yes.
Which is really weird.
Because it can give you a false sense of attachment. Like,
all the fake feelings.
Chemicals, all the fake feelings. And so it's like, and plus it's a human being. Like I can't just pump and dump. I've tried it. I ain't gonna lie. I've tried it. It's like, I can't do it.
Ooh,
I tried. And it's just like, ugh, not for me, man.
No. Yeah. There's definitely some shouldn't have done that. But whatever. You live. That's how you do it.
You live, you learn.
The way I live.
Yeah, so get your HIV, your gonorrhea, chlamydia, hepatitis C, get all that tested, syphilis, everything.
Tuberculosis, I think, all that. And then there's all the immunizations, but that's, everybody's up doing their own thing, so I'm not even going to touch that.
Yeah, exactly. They got so many new ones out, and I'm mad that there's a typo on this page. I don't trust them now. Told you they was janky.
Oh, what is this? BRCA mutation testing for breast and ovarian cancer susceptibility. I think that's the one you do, and then you find out you're going to get it at some point. So you remove the tatas.
I know on the thing, I took that DNA test, and it tells you if you have like the gene for it.
What, like on Ancestry? Or like a Everlywell
23andMe,
or
23andMe.
Yeah. So they can check for so they
can check for everything. Like if you can taste cilantro, it's very weird.
What?
Yeah.
I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that on my
they have whatever disclaimer they have that it's not diagnostic,
medical,
medical is just for your own entertainment or something like that. But that's what
sometimes I wonder, is this made up? I'm getting my 23% from the people's democratic whatever of Congo, and this from Cameroon and whatever, and I'm looking at it what if they just pulling my leg, making up stuff? How are they doing this?
You won't know. Yeah, it's I forgot, what is it called, the genome. So it's the more they get people tested and contributing their DNA, the more data they have and can move
to
you
rule
around
the world.
Yeah,
and take over,
right? See what eugenics, like we were talking.
Eugenics. I was really I don't think that's the word she means, and then I looked up and I was like, I don't think I know the word.
We need to talk about that because you do that often. I'm starting to get offended. It's like you don't believe the words coming out of my mouth. It's I do have sense. I'm
but when we did look at the words though, because I thought about that and I was like, that wasn't the right way for me to have said that, but we both had the correct meaning of it. It's just different. Yours was the scientifically this is whatever, and then mine was the generally understood this is what eugenics means once it came in contact with all the Nazis or whatever. So communication.
Exactly.
So I was not right for coming at you like that.
We were both saying the same, basically.
I apologize.
What it always ends up, we're both saying the same thing.
Yeah, well, whatever's clever. Yeah. So yeah, go to the doctor and go get your butt checked and make your pancakes with your boobies and all that stuff. I gotta make some. Ooh, now they're cutting stuff. Do you hear this? They're cutting wood. Do you hear that?
Yeah, it's not that loud though. It's probably worse here because I'm in a city, so you're probably hearing all kind of crap. So yeah, it's BRCA, BRCA1, and BRCA2 selected variants. You can check.
I feel do I want to know that stuff?
Yeah, what you gonna do? I guess it says, it says they test for specific and provides information on whether it's associated with increased risk. It does not account for non-generic factors for and a lot those non-generic, we were seeing the food we eat, the things we do, the environments we live in, and then with asbestos, wasn't there a time when that was fine?
It must have been, because why were they putting it in all the buildings and stuff,
they didn't know, or I don't know this history, so I'm not going to say if they knew or not. I don't know, but it's there was a time that was acceptable. So what is happening now that's acceptable? Are we going to find out there's something in the computer monitors, or there's some kind of lithium or something in batteries or something? Are we going to find out something that we're exposed to that we don't even know that's going to, make us vulnerable to some kind of disease? It's we don't know. It's just you have to.
I wonder though if the statistics are skewed. We're trusting statistical data, but if prior to a certain time asbestos wasn't even considered a factor for things, what were they categorizing those deaths, those illnesses, whatever, and how is that informing our studies and our stuff now? And that's just asbestos. There's so many other things like cigarette smoke or drinking or what other lifestyle, foods we eat, or regions you live in, all that kind of stuff.
Yep. Environmental. Exactly.
Oh, my children are screaming.
A lot going on. A lot going on.
Yeah, it's stressful times over at this household. Okay.
And stress, that's a number one killer as well.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna die. I was having chest pains. It was bad.
Oh no. Why?
Just can't. Like I feel like I can't catch my breath. Does that make sense?
Always something to do. Always something. The unknown. You know, you got to finish unfinished projects.
Well, it's just there's like literally our whole house is torn apart. We're having it redone before we can put it on the market, sell it, and I have 2 kids that are home all day. My parents are gone, so it's just me with the kids.
Oh,
and then the dog, and then Sean's working. He's trying to work while there's all this going on, so he's got calls and stuff. So it's just a lot. It's just a lot, and then I can't cook. We have.
How are y'all eating? Ordering food?
It's a lot of just like whatever we can just kind of figure out from the fridge and the pantry, and then otherwise. Do
you have like a microwave somewhere?
Yeah, we can microwave stuff. I busted out the air fryer and just plugged it in somewhere else, but it's so disjointed.
Oh, that's smart too. Yeah, the air fryer
everywhere. Yeah. So, it's just it's a lot. But
is there any space you can? Is there any space you can like carve out for your like peaceful space? None.
No.
Maybe make that your car, like in the back of your car or something.
Yeah, well, I mean, I took the kids out this morning and we went to like Krispy Kreme and got donuts and we sat and we do car picnics a lot, which sounds crazy,
that's cute.
It's my way of keeping them contained, because if I went to a park and did a real picnic, it would be a whole involved process because, excuse me, they never want to leave anywhere. So, and right now I don't have the time to be at the park all day because I have to be back to do this. So we had like a cart, we put the back down and we sat and we played music and kind of chit chatted and hang out. My daughter doesn't have school today, so it's all 3 of them. So that's what we were doing. We're probably gonna do that for lunch. I don't know. My kids want Whole Foods. They're like,
I love
Whole Foods and get lunch. And I was like, what's Whole Foods? You tell me what's Whole Foods. What is it? It's a store where you can go get lunch and they have all the stuff and it's got all the cookies. They have like the little place you can get cookies.
Oh, that's what they want, the cookies.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, these kids want some quinoa. What's going on?
Yeah, but they're like, let's go to Whole Foods. And then our Whole Foods has like a little sandwich shop and a little pizza spot. They have, the food, and they have bomb food. That's the only place I can get bombies around here is at Whole Foods. So, and I love it.
Yeah, they have good sandwiches. They have a lot of good buffet. I don't know if they still have that because of COVID, but yeah, they have a lot.
I think it's back. Yeah,
nice.
It was their last time, so that's what they were asking for. And I was like,
now I kind of want some Whole Foods.
You can't do a Happy Meal. You can't do a Happy Meal. You got to go to Whole Foods. Who are these kids I'm raising for real?
But do you want to feed your kids Happy Meal like we were saying?
I mean, they eat Happy Meal. My kids eat everything. It's
just not an everyday.
No, not every day. Yeah. But it was like with my first, I was making everything from scratch, and it had to be this. Wow. And now I'm just like, do I want to kill myself doing this, or are you okay to have a chicken nugget? Do you know what I mean? Like I can't.
They're healthy kids.
I'm not that mom anymore. I can't.
They're trying to survive.
That's basically where I'm at. I mean, it's that, but it's also what we were talking about today in this podcast. All the things you got to remember to do at this time. I hate that. And then feed people proper foods, and then make sure they're getting enough sunshine and playtime outside and exercise. Like it's too fucking much.
That's what I was complaining about today. It's too much. Like it's like life admin, like all the responsibilities we have just to keep ourselves alive and afloat as adults. And that includes healthcare, finance, everything, like personal.
If you're a homeowner, that's a whole other thing.
That's a whole other thing. If you have pets, a business, if you have pets, children, I was just thinking cars, about that. I
mean,
are they gonna like look at all the? I got Amazon boxes. You gotta like
see. You got a good little background. Oh yeah, you gotta see all your mess.
It's like you're taking house inventory. You gotta like your pet, like you said, with the pets. I would love to have robotic pets because I'm sick of cleaning up
your Tamagotchi or whatever they call it.
Litter. I don't want to know. I want a real real life robotic pet
that you don't have to feed or
you don't have to feed, don't have to water, and don't have to clean the litter.
They just snuggle you.
They just snuggle and they're soft, not like hard.
They got
like a
stuff like that. I feel like they got kids too. I'm gonna see if I can find you. I feel like my daughter has a cat.
I want a realistic like a.
I bet they have something like that.
That would be really expensive if they had it, because it would be real life. I mean, like a real
FSA
cat.
Man. Can't that be like a support animal?
Emotional support cat. Yeah, but life is adulting is hard. And I think when I say beam me up, I don't know if I literally want to be beamed up because I don't know what that would entail and where that would take me. But it's just like life is hard and I don't see any value. Like it's hard and it's not worth the fight to me. That's all.
It's a feeling. I feel like because we share memes, we share reels and TikToks and stuff all the time. And I feel like we saw something. Oh no, it was that beautiful baby we saw at Solely Vegan. Oh, that baby was beautiful. Oh, it looked like a doll. But she was just laying there and peaceful. She was sleeping for a little bit. And it was just like to be that cared for and loved and not to worry about anything. Like someone is taking care of everything for you.
That is the dream.
Maybe that's what we need to do. It should just be like a one-day retreat. We have a place. We will take care of everything for you. Everything. You just lay here. Just lay here. You want to be fed? I'm gonna feed you. You know, like we do all. You know, I'm sure there's some kink to that. Some people probably, you know,
feed me, baby. Feed me.
We'll give you a bath. We'll give you a bath. You know.
Yeah, this is sounding like some kink farm.
We'll hold you if you need. But I feel like.
Oh, they do that. They do
sexual
that,
side aside, just to have somebody shower you in love and care.
What's her name? There's someone who goes like a guru. And I got to hug her ages ago.
Was it a good hug? I love a good hug. Is
Amma. Yeah, that's her name. She goes by Amma. Her name is it means mother, and she's an Indian spiritual healer. And she just
loves.
It's just like you just melt. She gives those country saucella like better hugs better than country saucella.
He gives some good hugs. I was
right?
Like,
it's like you feel like maybe it's taking us back to the womb. I'm not sure what these hugs are doing, but it's just like in that moment, everything is okay.
It's good. It's good. I know. That was a good day of hugs. I'm telling you that
I was hugging all
day
y'all.
Of hugs.
I didn't care.
But that's
I used
also
to be shy of hugging.
But I feel like you can also tell the because I was there with you and I missed dinner, but it was 4 of us for the day. And it was just love. It was just love. Yeah. I could tell. I mean, just the hugs, the conversation,
no
the
weird
laughs,
vibes. Yeah.
Just love. Just and you can tell when a person has like a pure like spirit.
Heart,
like they're just yes. And so it was I left that feeling so good. I was just like,
something off energy. Like
there's good people everywhere. Yeah, it was just good. It was good vibes.
I make it a point to
French
try
fries,
to have good vibes in my life. I'm the only bad vibe allowed.
Stop it. No, but it just felt good. There was no negativity. And just the hugs. Everybody gave good hugs.
I rode that high. That was amazing. Like I was just happy all week from that. So thank you.
But me too. But part of me was like, well, I mean, you're the reason we all got together. So thank you. But it's part of me was like, this is how you could live. Like this could be life. That's so sad.
I think that's normal life for people.
But for who? Because I don't think I've ever had a feeling like that.
Oh, you're gonna make me cry.
No, but even like in my because I think I'm in a different place now too, of feeling comfortable and confident in myself and just being me and not feeling self-conscious about stuff.
Like you knew you weren't being judged. You knew that
it
was this whole accepting people, accepting you where you are, who you are, not trying to size you up, not trying to do anything, but have a good time, you know?
And a genuine interest in the things we were talking about.
Exactly.
Like it was
and we got deep sometimes and it was still, it was a good time. So
it was a good day.
Yeah, we needed that. I feel like we all needed it.
I feel like we need it all the time. Everybody, everywhere needs that.
But I feel like if I were there, it wouldn't happen. It would be something, you know, like it's just like it's
life would happen.
Life,
you know? Because we literally like I know I put life on hold that day and was like fully present and rarely am I fully present in any moment. Do you know what I mean?
We all did that. Like we weren't working or anything. We were like, this is just gonna be.
We weren't in our phones other than to tell people, hey, look what we're doing.
That's why I was like, dang, I don't really have that many pictures. I was like,
that's telling. We weren't really in our phones at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I literally didn't pick up my husband's call so many times and I kept missing his call.
But it was nice. And I feel like if we need to make that a thing, maybe like every quarter we get together.
Yeah, it's like a love.
Or even twice a year.
We should call it something. I don't know what.
Yeah. And then maybe guests. I mean, we had our guests come. I mean, listeners come. So
that would be fun.
Yeah.
Go place. And once a quarter, that's not bad. That's easy to do. and just pick a spot where we have, at least 2 people that want to come get together and spend a day.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I definitely know
time.
people everywhere too. So many places.
I know you
make
do.
A list.
I don't know nobody.
I don't know anyone in Santa Fe, but I still want to go there.
We could bring the people to Santa Fe. Who wants to come meet us here? Ooh, look like we're somebody. We're gonna make a world tour.
We are somebody. That's the thing. That's what everybody says. They just like did what they wanted to do, and eventually maybe whoever felt that vibe caught that vibe. It's so that's how it is.
Vibe.
Oh, those cutie pies. Is that what they were saying?
No, I have no idea.
Yes,
yeah, that is what they're saying.
Okay, I have no idea.
Willow Smith, that's a
yeah.
They're so cute. They are cute.
All right, girl.
So mental health, all that stuff.
Take care of yourself.
Hugs.
Yeah, take care of yourself. Take care of your health. Love you. Take care.
Okay,
Bye.
You too. Love you. Bye. Thank you for listening to this episode of 2 Girls Shooting the Shit with Em and Mo. Please enjoy this mindful moment. Those who don't make time to take care of themselves will sooner or later have to make time for illness.